Alright guys, I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and that is Jason the Andybugosaurus! And Dan is a ghost today. He's not here.
Why are we talking about this movie, Benny?
Alright guys, so if you just watched our Comicstorian, quick of review, opinion thing on the whole, whatever, we that Failtastic 4 movie. I came up with a pun.
Did you get that off of Twitter?
I did. But no, if you guys just saw Failtastic 4, or you just saw our opinions on it, and we said come on over here and get our discussion, normally we do this with also having Dan here, but he didn't see the movie. So it's Jason and me.
He actually refused.
Yeah, he refused.
In the normal video, we did a really politically correct thing, but Dan was like, I will not see that movie, Benny. You would not be able to pay me to see that movie.
The full story is that's pseudo what happened, but he's actually like an hour and a half away right now because he's moving. So it was a game of, do you want to drive an hour and a half to come and see a movie that is currently getting like a 7% on Metacritic?
Yeah.
And he was like, I think I'll miss this one. I'm good.
Yeah. So why is this movie so bad? What is it that makes it just a steaming pile of stuff?
The change in director midway through.
That's a thing. Yeah, well, I mean, Josh, well, okay, so hold on. So,
how about we discuss this one?
So Josh Trank is the director.
No, he left halfway through.
I mean, he
wrote the original screenplay, and then they got halfway through the movie, which is why I think the first half was good.
But his name is still attached to the movie.
Because he wrote the first half of the movie.
Right, but I guess
which I liked. The first half was great.
Yeah, I mean, I think he still did other parts of the movie.
Do you have Ultimate Fantastic Four over here?
We have lots of books with Ultimate Fantastic Four.
What do you have, like, part one? Because if you haven't read it, the first half of the movie is almost spot on for their actual origin.
I mean, I feel like it was still better in the comic, but
it's still better in the comic, but...
I mean...
So what do you think about the origin? I'll start from there.
Well, I mean, so here's my problem with any time they approach a Fantastic Four movie, Benny. Like they do the young guy thing, or they always have to do the origin. I understand, like, the origin's important, but at some point we have to, like, hey, the origin's out there. We've had 2 movies of this. The origin's out there. We can sum up the origin really quickly in this. Boom, spaceship, powers, boom, we're back.
Right,
because here's the thing, though. Remember this, like, in a comic book, in the very first comic book of Fantastic Four, we don't know who these people are.
Right.
Like, Reed just shows up, he puts a smoke signal in the cloud, they show up, they fight Mole Man, and you're just like, yes, what is this? What's going on? It's so awesome.
Right.
And that's Fantastic Four. There's all these things that are going on, and they do tend to explain them as they go. And so there's a process with comic books that we need to start. The comic book origin story is done to death. We've made so many of these, and it's...
But in the defense of that, we have not had a Fantastic Four movie, reference, viable comic, cartoon, anything in the last 10 years.
Sure. So, I mean...
So we haven't had a Fantastic Four origin forever. This isn't like Spider-Man or Batman, where it's like, do we really need to see his parents die again?
I mean, I understand, like, 10 years ago isn't that long ago for me, because I live my time...
You're a dinosaur.
This is all I think about, is this kind of stuff. But, I mean, okay, so, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, let's talk about a movie that was good. They didn't have an origin story for everybody in there.
No, we just had, like, an opening bumper of
and you don't need an origin story for everybody. It's like, hey... Can we just have can we just start in the middle of the movie and Fantastic Four people are doing things, and then, you know, there could be that moment where it's like, oh, I'm the Thing, Reed, like, why haven't you fixed me yet? Like, you can start talking about, like, you could just have it be like, you did this to me, or this happened because of some accident, and I still haven't forgiven you for it, and then Reed's like, he can have that moment where he's like, but I'm still working on it, and, you know, you could just make the movie and let it fly.
Yeah, and I agree with you, man.
And so that's my problem. So, at some point in these comic book movies, the origin, like, point is gonna be done. Like, it's gonna be...
Well, Marvel said that. They said they're done doing origins. That's why Ant-Man didn't get a real origin. It was just like, here's the suit, go.
I mean, there was an origin, though. It's like, here, he did this, he got that. I mean, sure. Like, there wasn't an origin for Hank Pym.
Right.
But there was an origin for Scott Lang. So,
yeah, but we established that Ant-Man already existed in
But
that
it's
universe.
like, we're getting 7 more of these movies now, and it's like, okay, here we go again. Here's the origin of, you know, Doctor Strange. Here's the origin of this. So anyways, that point, I guess that's a point that I'd like to make is, if we're going to make these comic book movies succeed in the future, we're going to have to move up the medium to do things. And Marvel Studios, Marvel, is in a position where...
Marvel, not Marvel.
like these guys, they're so far behind. They're so far behind the ball because the guys who are setting the pace for everything is Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
So it becomes increasingly difficult to watch. But yes, Josh Trank got kind of kicked off of this movie. The studio execs took over and made the movie. Now, see, they made it sound like he was still directing the movie, but they were telling him what to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. So, like, I kind of
Well,
disagree with
so let me ask you this,
He
though.
got kicked off of the Star Wars movie that he hasn't even had a chance to work on.
But let me ask you this, though. Like, okay, so removing the fact that we didn't need an origin, and I do agree with you on that one, and the fact that it was half the freaking movie to tell the origin, I was a little upset with. I was kind of like, all right, I get it. Let's just get powers and move on. The origin itself, did you have any problems with?
I mean,
Other than the fact it was an origin again.
well, once again, I mean, I'm not a fan of the... I know the Ultimate Universe is got the interdimensional thing where they go to another place. That whole point was just awful. Because here's... Okay.
Yeah, but it did follow this
first
one.
off,
I mean, regardless of not liking interdimensional.
First off, Doctor Doom is still going with them. That's a horrible, horrible idea. It's always been a bad idea bringing them with them. Second, like, what happened to Sue? So here's my favorite thing. The three boys, right? They're irresponsible. They're going to jump in the ship. And Sue's like... Oh, well, I'm the responsible person, and I'm at home, and like.
Well, they never told her. They never told her. She was. Actually, what was she doing? Because she was in the lab. Was she like the night shift?
This is why this is. I mean, okay.
She was just hanging out.
This is why this is a horrible, god awful movie. Because here's the problem with the origin. They're like, okay, we just figured out how to jump into another dimension with this piece of technology that costs billions and trillions of dollars and mine things, and you know you have the head of the program is there, and he sees like, oh my god, this thing's incredible.
Right.
So what do? They leave it completely unguarded, undetected. Like,
no, it wasn't unguarded. It was Sue in the other room. that was the only guard.
There was two people in the room with Sue, and they were just kind of. What were they doing? Were they playing like freaking Battletoads? Or something?
Battletoads, really? That old?
But my point is
that'd
that
have been awesome if they were doing that. Like, we beat level 4.
Like, it's so hard. But here's the problem. Like, so you can't have that. That's just not a thing you can have in a movie. Like, you can't have the like. This thing that, no, this thing is under lock and guard and key, and it's even more so because, oh my god, this thing works.
Right.
So, and I just love it's like, oh, we're drunk, we can just go in there and do that. I'm like, no, you would have been, like, removed from the premises.
Yeah. Oh, especially since they all argued about it. I will agree with you on that one. They're like, the government's going to get involved. We're selling this to NASA. And they're like, no, we should be the first to go. And, like, if I was that CEO guy, I'm like, all right, you guys need to go. I'm sorry that you invented this, but you need to go now because you might do something stupid.
Yeah. But so I hate that. I hate the kid. The kids, like, I hate that just having kids. Don't have kids. Reed's an old man. This is the problem. There's another problem with Fantastic Four. Presenting Reed as a young guy, I always have a problem with. Reed's like dad. Like, he's the father of the Marvel Universe.
No, he is. Yeah, you're right.
And so having him as this little kid and having this little story, and then they have this ludicrous scene where he makes this piece of technology, and I think there's literally like a scene, if there was a camera shot, I think there was 100 N64s or something that are stacked on each other.
I like that.
Okay, it's 2007, they're a poor family. It's not like N64s were that easy to get. Like, they were still 10 years old, they were vintage. They cost 50 to 60.
Why would he use an N64 though? That was my big question.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can open a whatever. Like, that's Josh Trank. Like, that's a Josh Trank type thing because he did Chronicle. You know, he's good. Yeah,
I like Chronicle.
He's not. Yeah. He made a good movie. He made one good movie. One that's not so good. So, but like, there's moments just in all the stuff where I just hate stuff. I hate it. Like, it's a grim. Like, they go to the workshop. It's a grim. You're like, oh, grim. The kid. His, like, brother punches him, and he's like, it's collaborating time. I'm just like,
where do you think you got it from?
Roll eyes. You know, I mean...
All right, okay. So, the origin, you don't like it either way across the board. I didn't mind the origin. I actually liked it. If you wanted to... Like I said in the other review, if you want to go... In my opinion, price of a matinee, get some popcorn, chill out. But... Here's where we both...
Pay $3 and yell at the screen. Like, this movie is bad, and you want to see how bad it is, it's worth $3 to probably see how bad it is. Right. It's kind of like a Battlefield... It's not even Battlefield Earth. But
no, because that one got a cult following because of how bad it was.
Yeah.
This one won't.
All right, so you were...
Okay, so moving on to Act 2. And this is where my problems with the movie began. Because I honestly felt like when they did the year jump, they're like, they've all got powers, and they're all testing them and everything like that. Like, the year jump turned into... Like, I honestly felt like we just missed an entire season of a TV show. Like, a whole show went by and we missed it. Because they just jump in. Thing is already active. Johnny's about to be active. Sue, for some reason, doesn't agree with the whole thing. But she's training. Like, constantly training to use her powers.
She's flying in bubbles, losing her breath.
But no, she wants nothing to do with this.
When she comes out of the invisible bubble, she's short of breath.
Yeah.
And it's Kate Mara, and she has blonde hair.
Well, see, that's not even special because we already saw her naked in House of Cards.
That's probably true.
So it's not even a big deal. It's not even a big deal.
But, I mean, here's... Okay, so here's my problem with the first thing. Like, before we jump to that whole, like, we jumped there, like, Reed just escapes. Like, this is my favorite bit of the movie where I'm just like, what is
going on? He's Rubber Man and running away.
So he just leaves. Like, it's like they're in the middle of a mountainous, factory, like an area, I think it was called Area 54, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's something stupid.
He, like, escapes Area 54, which should be, once again, a heavy, super guarded, protected place. And he just like, I'm just going to run out of here. No, wait, where's he? Oh, we don't know. We don't know where he is.
Right, we can't track him.
Like, they let him go. Like,
let me ask you this, because this
like,
is one
this
thing...
This is like, you know, the Death Star letting Millennium Falcon free, and like, well, we have a cunning plan. We're going to bring him back. No, they actually lost him, and and it turns into the Hulk movie where they're trying to find him, and you're just like...
He's even in, like, Brazil or something like that. He's even, like, where the Hulk was.
He's in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But let me ask you this, because I'm not a super Fantastic Four fan. Does Reed have the ability to alter his physical appearance? Because as soon as that happened, I'm like, I don't remember that.
I don't know if that's something that's happened recently. I don't think he could. But
it may be a retcon thing.
Yeah, I should have. I thought the same thing to myself, and I'm like, I wonder if that's something that's ever happened. Maybe in the Ultimate Universe.
Maybe.
But it doesn't seem like something Reed would.
I mean, I could see that being viable because he's like he's like rubbery, but I don't think I've ever seen him do that.
Reed doesn't like to deceive people. He's kind of like, you know, I'm just going to tell you, you know, the statistical probability of what's about to happen. and then
the world's going to end.
And then Thing is going to punch you.
Right, the world is going to end. That's about to happen right here.
Yeah, that was a thing where... But was so unnecessary, and his power is just...
Okay, so we go into Act 2. We jump a year for no reason. And then it almost feels like a different movie is starting. Like they're turning into these like secret soldiers and they're being held captive, but they're not being held captive. But they are. Thing doesn't know what pants is. He apparently can't find his pants.
Yeah.
I don't know what was up with that.
It was just, I guess they didn't want him to have pants on.
Like, but why? He's never been naked.
Once again, I don't think they read the comics. In this movie. Like, I don't think there was actually anything where there was comic book I mean, you say the Ultimate Story, which is mostly fine.
No, it feels to me like they read the first 2 issues and they were like, oh, that's good enough. We got this.
Like Brian Hitch is a comic writer. He was a consultant on this, so he probably said, well, this is kind of like the movie.
Right. So, okay, so they turn him into secret agents. That part for me was like, what is this? So, first off, the plot just goes out the window. They're just like, we're going to start a new plot. Now we're going to make them secret agents.
Yeah.
And then we go into what... That goes nowhere. So, there's not even like anything to discuss. That literally goes nowhere.
Well, they don't do anything exciting with
No,
it.
they just find Reed, and that's it.
There could have been like some tension and a really interesting story, and it's like, Johnny, why do you want to do this? They're just trying to use you. And your dad's like, I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to. He has got that voice. He's like, I'm not going to let them use you.
I'm not going to let. No, you can't do it. And Johnny's like, no, I have to do it. You made me this way, Dad. And then his dad's like, no, you can't. You be the dad, okay? You made me this way, Dad.
No, you can't do it. I told you not to do it because I'm righteous.
I'm going to do something right. This is your fault, Dad.
So they could have done cool stuff or drama, and they just kind of like, oh, well, Reed's over here. We should get him back. All right, let's put Reed back in the movie.
Right.
Oh, let's open up a portal and accidentally find Dr. Doom.
Okay.
That's the movie.
Where did Dr. Doom ever... Because someone said it was his hair. It wasn't his hair. Where did he get the cloak?
Huh?
Someone put in the comments that it was his hair. I don't think it was his hair. Where did he get the cloak?
He just felt like having like an evil green turban on.
But the best part about that is once he comes over to the other side...
Oh, he just goes out. He
looks. First off, he looks like a crash test dummy. He doesn't look like Dr. Doom.
Well, I mean, okay. What happened with Dr. So this is the reason why it's a bad movie. Dr. Doom. I'm gonna start crying. Dr. Doom is like the best screen villain. He should be. He's like Darth Vader.
He's Darth Vader for the Marvel Universe. That's what he is. He is.
Except he's green. He has a green cloak and he's metal, but he's still
a super
awesome.
Genius and he's got robotic parts.
And he's magic. He has freaking magic. And they can never touch magic in this universe. Hopefully Doctor Strange fixes that. But here's the thing, right? They always like have to ruin Doctor Doom somehow, and it's like, how can you? It's like ruining Magneto. It's like taking Magneto and like making him not actually be able to do anything good. Like, can you imagine? Like Magneto, which I mean, like I said, I hate the X-Men movies, but that's another story altogether. We're not doing that.
Why not?
But at least like his character does stuff with magnetism, and he's awesome,
right?
Like, and you kept that integrity, at least Fox. But no, with Doctor Doom, it's just like, whatever. He's just a guy. He's just a bad guy, and he's gonna get disintegrated.
But nobody they didn't even make him look like Dr. Doom.
No,
he literally looked like a crash test dummy.
No, he looked like a metal guy with green glowy stuff.
And then he goes back to the other universe after coming over and deciding that because Dr. Doom wanted to conquer the world, so they're like, no, he wants to conquer his world that has no people on it. He wants to go to this other world.
It doesn't make any sense.
But so he goes back for no reason at all, and and this is what I was gonna say. When he goes back, he magically has the cloak again.
Well, he finds it. He literally picked it up off of the ground or something.
Yeah, like it was just laying around.
Just like my blankie. Yeah, I mean,
did you hear what the rumors are though? The actor who played Dr. Doom is claiming that maybe that was a Doom bot. Maybe that wasn't Doom.
Yeah, he can just say whatever he wants at this point.
Maybe we made a Doom bot and real Doom will be back.
I mean, the whole thing was just stupid, though, because it's like, wouldn't it have been cool if you at least hinted that you could make a Doom bot or something like that? But yeah, I mean, who cares? There's no other movie. Like, this is it.
No, they've said it. They've confirmed they are making Fantastic Four 2.
But they won't now.
No,
it made $5.
No, it did less than Pixels. But it's already making back its money, and it was the #1 movie in Mexico. Fox has gone on record to state now, like as of today, they are making Fantastic Four 2. They are committed to it.
They committed to it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, cool. I have to go. I mean,
So the movie's just all over the place. It opens up very slow. The pacing then goes out the window. They're like, okay, we spent an hour building up their origins. Now we're going to spend 10 minutes giving you their powers in a fake kind of thing. And then we're going to just mandatory supervillain fight. We're going to put a Doom-esque kind of guy
and they're going to learn how to fight together, and it's going to be really glorious. And
I will say this. There's one thing in the movie that I absolutely despise, and they got rid of it near the ending, was the suits to control their powers.
Yeah.
They gave him suits at the beginning, and by the ending, Reed breaks his suit, and he learns he can control his power anyway. Yeah. So at least we're getting rid of the suits already.
Yeah, but at the end of the movie, when they were hanging out in the place where they came up with the name for the team,
that's fantastic.
And they were all still in their cool suits, you know.
Well, yeah, because that'll probably be the next movie where they all learn to control them, or they'll do like a recap between them after we do the second origin again.
There's not going to be another movie, man.
There's going to be another movie. They've said that.
I refuse.
And they're also talking about possibly after the next movie there being an X-Men Fantastic Four Deadpool crossover.
See, this is what... all right. See, this is the dark recesses of the comic book universe. Fox hates Disney so much that they will lose money.
And that's literally what they're doing.
They're like, to spite Disney.
Which is the funniest thing in the world. That's exactly what they're doing. This movie was made so that they can retain the rights. That is it.
It's like the ship is sinking, and I mean Deadpool's gonna save it. Like it's gonna save it in a massive, massive.
Oh yeah, that trailer is amazing.
Like that movie. So whatever. Like it's bad. Don't ever see like it. This isn't the Fantastic Four. If you made the Fantastic Four, it would be great. Like it would be the best thing ever. But you know, who knows? Marvel Studios, we'll never know. Maybe they'll make another trade. I mean, they traded the rights for Fantastic Four. Or to delay the rights to get Daredevil back. So maybe we can make some more deals.
Oh, did
do some wheeling and dealing. That's how they got Daredevil in the first place.
Oh, they said they could just hold on to Fantastic Four longer?
For a little longer. Yeah, they were because it had been like 7 years since
right. It's like a 10-year extension.
It was like a 6-year lapse or whatever. So yeah, no, that was part of the whole deal. That's how they got Daredevil back.
I can see that.
And look what they did
thank God they did Daredevil good.
So
what blows my mind about this though is, and I get the movie was made just so they can retain the rights. Why not make it good? Why not get a movie that will sell and you have a franchise?
Well, I mean, this is what I say every day. I mean, I have a whole podcast where I talk about why don't they make movies good anymore.
Yeah,
and that's literally like, you could make this with all the talent and all the people in the world. You have all the money. It's not that they don't have the money. Like, why can't you? At least everybody should go into it. Like Lord of the Rings, they always go in with the best intentions. They all are very happy, despite what you think of the last Lord of the Rings movie.
I liked them. I liked Hobbit, even though it was dragged out.
But I mean, like, at least that they're made with the heart and spirit of like a great film, and that's all I want. Like, if you do that with Fantastic Four, people will see the work you put into it. That's all we should be doing, because there's people who are living and dying and starving that want to make movies.
Yeah,
like Benny.
I would like to make a movie. I'll make a movie about me.
Well, it'll be about you talking about comics.
It'll be about me talking about comics.
I mean, you get the idea. I guess the point I'm trying to make is it's so frustrating when you see a movie like this, and it's like, oh, you're taking this great IP, and there's people who love this stuff.
Yeah.
And they would make this great, and instead you take Dr. Doom, turn him into a crappy robot, and he literally scans people. He literally had a scene where he's like, I'm just gonna start scanning people, and he blew their brains up.
Yep.
And you're just like
scanners.
And my brain actually started to hurt when I was at the theater. Like, I was actually like, is this happening? What's going on?
Why is this happening?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't make any sense, but I figured it out. I mean, the movie actually has, like, powers of telepathy to affect you.
Right.
Yeah, that's why everybody hates this movie universally.
So, I mean, overall, I think we can both agree we hate it. I'm pretty sure if Dan saw it, he would have hated it too. Although he hates when I put words in his mouth, so maybe he'll see it eventually, and if he does, we'll do a little solo Dan thumbs up, Dan's down. Whatever. But that's it, guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought about Fantastic Four. We'll chat with you. We'll talk to you guys about it. I can't talk right now. To make sure you follow us on Twitter at Comicstorian. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Comicstorian. We'll eventually learn what Snapchat, Vine, and all that other stuff is.
Hey, you know, and then Grand Slam Sports Cards has a at Grand Slam.
Oh yeah, at Grand Slam Twitter. Check that out. And if you're actually wondering where we're filming at right now, it's located in Loveland, Colorado. Grand Slam Sports Cards and Comics. It's also in Greeley, so check out the stores if you happen to come by. If you're just driving through, going to Wyoming. I don't know why anyone goes to Wyoming, but it's on the way.
I'm sorry, people, Wyoming. Benny doesn't know.
I'm sorry, Wyoming.
So, all right, well, thanks for
having me.
All right,
thanks, guys, and we'll see you guys next time right here at CTV with our next discussion about movies. What comes out this week?
I'm trying not to think about it.
Nothing?
No, I don't know. I don't know.